Now let's talk some NFL awards because this week is really fun when it comes to the NFL MVP. Now, usually we start with the favorite, but I don't want to start with the favorite today. I want to start with the guy that's the big mover in the market, and it's a non-quarterback. It's Colts running back Jonathan Taylor. So Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts is 14-1 over at BetMGM to win NFL MVP. I mean, before the season, what is he, 300-1, 250-1? Like these non-QBs, they're always massive, massive prices because you need so many things to go your way for a non-quarterback to win league MVP. Once again, it has not happened since Adrian Peterson back in 2012 when he flirted with breaking Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. Now, Jonathan Taylor, he might flirt with breaking that record as well. And he might flirt with breaking the single-season touchdown record set by LaDainian Tomlinson back in 2006 of 31. So far this year, Jonathan Taylor, I believe with 14 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns, they get a ridiculous amount of touchdowns. I know he's got 12 of them on the ground and a couple as receiving touchdowns, but Jonathan Taylor has been outstanding so far this season. Leading the league in rushing yards, leading the league in rushing touchdowns, second in the league in rushing yards per game. And he's playing for a Colts team with a win total of 12.5. They're plus 175 to be the 1 seed. They have the best record in the NFL. And this week, it was starting to happen on Sunday, and it's carried throughout this week, is everyone saying, why not Jonathan Taylor? Why can't he be league MVP? We had Mark Schlereth on with us yesterday, Odyssey NFL Insider. He believes Jonathan Taylor is the front runner for NFL MVP. Like, this thing is happening for a non-QB. At least the push is happening. Now, will he win the award? In short, no. I don't think Jonathan Taylor's going to win league MVP. But we always see these things happen because, they're big prices, for one. And also, two, let's just be honest. In media, it covers football, it's a long season. And in a long season, you don't want to just say, oh yeah, Mahomes or Allen are going to win MVP. Because that's boring. We're all looking for other guys. A couple of weeks ago, it was Baker Mayfield. Last week, there were people trying to make the case for Dak Prescott, which is just hilarious. Everyone's looking to make the case for guys because that's interesting. It's fun to talk about new guys. And Jonathan Taylor is the new guy. And yes, last year, we were on, as a show, Saquon Barkley to win the MVP. And I think that actually had a little bit of legs to it, but unfortunately, Allen and Lamar were otherworldly. And also, too, the Eagles just didn't get Saquon over the hump in terms of flirting with Eric Dickerson's record. But, Saquon had the moment and had the narrative. The narrative of just left the New York Giants. Look what he's doing. Oh my goodness. He had the moment, the backwards hurdle against the Jaguars, and everyone's rallying around Saquon because Saquon's fun. And that's not to say that Jonathan Taylor is not fun, but he just doesn't have the same narrative that a Saquon Barkley had. I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to win this award. And I understand people took some stabs at 20-1, 25-1. All right. But can you get over the finish line? Because you might get the nice CLV sandwich. He might get down to 5-1, 4-1, like Saquon did last year. But can he actually get over the finish line? Do you actually believe Jonathan Taylor's going to beat out Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, all these guys that could have big seasons with big team records? Can he actually get over the finish line? I don't think so. And also, with the Indianapolis Colts, they haven't really been beaten like the freaking murderer's row here in terms of the teams that they're playing. This has been a pretty soft schedule. Titans twice. They had the Raiders. They got the Steelers defense coming up on Sunday. The schedule does get more difficult down the stretch. So let's just pump the brakes a little bit on Jonathan Taylor and the Indianapolis Colts. Which brings me to where the MVP, at least front runner, will be decided this Sunday with the marquee game of the week, Chiefs at the Bills. The favorite right now is Patrick Mahomes, plus 140. Your second shot in the market is Bills quarterback Josh Allen at plus 350. Now, Mahomes, his numbers have been awesome. Had another really good game on Monday Night Football. Threw two interceptions, but had 3 touchdowns, nearly 300 yards passing. Chiefs win total is now 11.5, plus 375 to be the 1 seed. 5th in EPA per play. 3rd in QBR, the undisputed best player in the NFL. Usually, that's a rock-solid case. Now, the problem with Mahomes and his candidacy is that I think this Sunday is an incredibly high leverage game. Not just because it's Chiefs versus Bills and it's a nationally televised audience, etc., but for the MVP, Mahomes needs to win on Sunday to win the MVP. Because if the Chiefs lose, and right now they're 2-point favorites over at BetMGM, so like they're favored to win. They are the chalk outcome. But if the Chiefs lose this game, can Mahomes win MVP after starting the year 5-4? Because team success being a big component of the MVP, can he truly win the MVP if Kansas City, at the midway point, already has 4 losses? Now you could say, well, Femi, Kansas City is the best team in the league. They could potentially run the table, and maybe they finish the year 13-4. And I'd say, you know what? That's a possibility. But would you ever bet plus 200 on the Chiefs to run the table? You're probably not going to bet that. At least I would never bet that. And that's probably where he's going to be priced, plus 200, maybe plus 300 if they lose this game. I think, and I'll say this, I think if the Chiefs lose on Sunday, I'm crossing Mahomes off the list. I don't think he can win. Like, you're asking way too much for a guy to have to run the tip, because I don't think 12-5 is getting this bad boy home. There's going to be way too many big records out there, way too many good seasons statistically. Like the NFC guys, we haven't even gotten into them really over the last couple of weeks, and I think next week will be a nice spot for one of them. But like this is coming up really quickly here for the Chiefs. You need Mahomes to win this game. Otherwise, this MVP market becomes wide open. And the guy that will be the beneficiary, of course, is the guy that he's playing on Sunday, Josh Allen, the reigning defending MVP. Like if Josh Allen outduels Mahomes, guess who's right back to the top of frontrunner status? Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who right now is plus 350. Like if you believe Buffalo's going to win on Sunday, like yeah, you can bet plus 2. You can bet Buffalo on the money line, which right now over at BetMGM is plus 115. You can bet all of that. But if you're betting that and you truly believe Buffalo's going to win, I would highly encourage you to also bet Bills or Josh Allen at plus 350 to win the MVP. Because one thing Buffalo has going for them is it has a pretty reasonable schedule, and they have a couple of marquee games at home in December. They host New England, and they host Philadelphia in December. If they win those 2 games, and they win on Sunday against Kansas City, guess who's going back-to-back? It'll be Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Because they will be the 1 seed, and he will also put up big numbers. So this is an incredibly high leverage game for league MVP. Chiefs win, Mahomes continues favorite status, and he's the likely guy to win it. Chiefs lose, I'm crossing Mahomes off the list. I don't think he's winning the award. And I think Josh Allen goes to favorite status, and maybe he doesn't win it, but it opens things up for other guys to win MVP. All right, let's get to some of the other awards. Offensive Player of the Year. It's Jonathan Taylor, right? Barring health, it's Jonathan Taylor. 850 rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns, minus 275 now over at BetMGM. This is the award he's going to win, guys. Like, it's not going to be the MVP. It's OPOY, which 6 weeks ago we discussed on this very show, 15-1, bet Jonathan Taylor because he's been going off and the schedule is pretty reasonable. Like, that was the time to buy. Now, we just hold on to hope and hope that he stays healthy and Jonathan Taylor continues his great play and the Colts continue to win as they're minus 400 to win the AFC South, and he gets us home at NFL Honors in February. It's early. We're not calling the award. We're not doing any of that. But Jonathan Taylor's in a very, very nice spot. And if he slips up, I mean, we still have Jackson Smith and Jigba, one of the horses that we have to run with. He's at 5-1. Puka Nacua, maybe you have interest there. I don't really. I mean, the injury, Puka Nacua, I just don't want to buy it, especially at 11-1, even though he is an awesome player, one of the best receivers in the NFL. But Jonathan Taylor's in a very, very nice position for Offensive Player of the Year. And that's what people really mean. Like when they, oh, Jonathan Taylor should be the MVP. What you're saying is that he's like the undisputed Offensive Player of the Year.